Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn, 18th of January 2026. There's something you've been moving through in order to evolve. Capricorn is the teacher, the disciplinarian, ruled by Saturn. The new moon is illuminating that journey, and it may even be offering a quiet reward for the effort and hard work that you've put in. Capricorn is the hardest worker of the zodiac, symbolises the mountain goat. And in ancient mythology, it was the sea goat. It's built to endure. Capricorn climbs steadily towards the top of the mountain, the summit, navigating any terrain, weather, with patience, focus, discipline, and determination. So there's something in your world where you've had to, or it wanted to, teach you, ruled by Saturn, the teacher, it wanted to teach you about patience, discipline, determination, groundedness. Capricorn is an earth sign. Now, this new moon occurs at 28 degrees, and this is the final decan. It's a point in astrology associated with completion. There's 30 degrees in a decan, and we're at 28. So the moon's at 28 along with the sun. So it's the moon is the feminine, the sun is the masculine. So there's that masculine, feminine maturity. You've gained a lot of wisdom, stability and strength from whatever cycle you've been going through. Everybody has their own story. It marks the end of this cycle and readiness to build a new chapter, the new moon, a new life, a new way of being. There's a closure that's coming at a final stage right now. Capricorn's themes are stability, discipline, leadership, authority, father figure, Capricorn being the father figure. Opposite sign Cancer is the mother figure. Mother, father lineage, masculine, feminine union. Capricorn in mythology also is Kronos, which is Saturn. Kronos, father time. This could well be a father lineage, a paternal masculine ancestral wound, and a pattern is now ready to let go of. It's reached maturity now. But Capricorn can hang on. It can hang on. It's an earth sign. It's very practical. It can hang on to the familiar. I want to just go into the cards that I've already pulled. I always tap into the energy before I come on. And I pulled 4 cards. So here we have the World, which is Saturnian energy. A cycle complete, which I've already mentioned. And we have here the 5 of Cups, which is in reverse. Came out reversed. I'll put it this way. So the 5 of Cups, this is Mars in Scorpio. Mars being the masculine, so that's representing that masculine lineage. Now remember, when I mention masculine and feminine, it's not about gender specific. This is about our archetype, because what we are surrounded by, we can resonate with. So it comes into our core beliefs. If we have a mother and father that have such beliefs, we take on that belief. This is where nature and nurture comes in. So this is where we can look at a father lineage, a masculine lineage within us, a cycle that's complete now. It's not serving you anymore. So the 5 of Cups is Mars in Scorpio, as I've mentioned. Mars, the masculine. Scorpio is the psychologist of the planet. So this is where we're looking back at some deep emotional core wounds. So this can be that Cancer energy I was talking about. Remember what opposing, this new moon opposes Jupiter in Cancer. Cancer being the opposite sign of Capricorn. So we're always going to take on the axis of Cancer and Capricorn. So we're looking at Jupiter, which is expansion and growth, but he's in retrograde right now. So retrograde simply means going back over the past, because Jupiter expands, but he doesn't want you to expand from a place of this energy, melancholy, the past, sadness, grief, loss. He's saying enough now, break free. Capricorn in Tarot is the devil. Where have you been chained to the past? This is what's coming up with this new moon. We have an opportunity to break free. And then I pulled the Queen of Wands. So she's the Queen of Fire, the feminine fire, the drive, the Kundalini, the spark of life, confidence. This is where we're hitting the reset. Fool. This is Uranus energy. This is where we have that reset in February I was talking about. The big astrological reset, for the whole globe, for the whole earth, we're hitting 0 point of Aries, which is this card here, fire. So we're ready to move forward in a more mature masculine, because remember fire is masculine element. We're ready to move forward in a more mature, but this is a feminine energy. I want you to go more into that feminine fire, sensuality, sexuality, drive, kundalini spirit, life force energy. There's a reset. So this Capricorn cycle, it's been showing you what needs is not working. All structures of patriarchal, all structures of that masculine that we were hanging on to. At its core, Capricorn is about building a solid foundation. While it's known for emotional expression, while it isn't known for its emotional expression, like the opposite sign of Cancer, Capricorn still needs emotional security to feel truly safe and stable. So look at the areas of your life where you haven't felt safe and stable. This is what you have been regenerating, releasing, healing. This need is often hidden. Maybe it's been buried under responsibility, control, self-reliance, work. Capricorn is the workaholic. Where have you been too heavy in that masculine? Where you've been abandoning your feminine fire, your sensual confidence? Where is your king of fire and your queen? Are they united? Are you holding on to some old beliefs, possibly from mother, father wounds, grandfather wounds, grandparents' wounds, ancestral wounds? You're building something long-lasting with Capricorn. And it's about integrating both, the structure and the softness. It doesn't mean abandoning your emotional needs. It means allowing them to become part of your foundation itself. And when you do this within, this is a big internal job, guys. Everything starts with us. Everything starts with us. So it's an internal job. And I did pull the Four of Swords here. Four of Swords, and it's asking us to rest. Rest the mind. You might be in a period now with this new moon where we're having to really look at what we're focusing on, where we're putting our energy. Is there some old battles? This is the knight that's been out to battle. He's hung his 3 swords up there. He's done with the battle, with the situation. But it's in his mind. Where is your mind being distracted by that survival energy, that conflict? Where are you needing to let go of something, to rest, to calm your nervous system? Because remember, you're building something long-lasting. You're hitting that reset button, the Fool, 0 point. We're all hitting that 0 point February 14th, when the 2 planets, Saturn and Neptune, collide together at the 0 point, which is an expansive energy. But we're heading off in a new direction. And it wants us to be balanced. It wants to be rested. Okay. Before I go into my tarot again, I'm going to pull a few of my astrology cards to see what planets want to come up. There's a lot of aspects going on up in the sky, and I didn't want to bring them all in because it might confuse. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to trust my intuition and just ask the cards what it is our focus needs to be directed upon. Remember, Capricorn energy, focusing on only what matters for the long term. What needs to be, what's wasting your time, your effort, needs to go. Let's see what we have. What do we have? Libra, relationships. This is the union of the masculine and the feminine. This card says here, the energy is diplomatic, gracious, seeks harmony and balance in relationships. I've mentioned Saturn, the ruler of this new moon, Capricorn, who rules Capricorn. Now, he's the disciplinarian. He's at his final degrees of Neptune, as I've mentioned, before it hits that reset, along with Saturn. Saturn, Neptune are big outer planets. They have a very long cycle. Neptune is about our spirituality, our soul contract, our karma, if you like. Along with Saturn, he's been trying to teach you. But also Saturn rewards. So when you let go of something, what you've needed to learn in Libra, which is all about close relationships, this is the essence of feminine. Balance, harmony. Where might you need to make some peace? Jupiter in Cancer, it's a pause in this new moon. whilst he's trying to go over the past, and Saturn's in Pisces and Neptune's in Pisces. Pisces is the peacemaker. It's the compassionate forgiveness energy. Now, forgiveness is a big word, but there's something that you need to set yourself free from. Remember the devil energy, chained to the devil. Where have you been dancing with the devil? And now it's taken up too much of your time. For the longer term, you want to build something fresh, new. We're all encouraged to do that in February, but for now we're still letting go and making peace with things. Pisces also is the solitude energy, the spirituality, the water energy, getting more in tune with your emotional needs, your feminine energy, nurture. So that's coming up to be seen. What else do we have? 7th house, relationships. Venus rules the 7th house. Libra rules the 7th house. So there's a big emphasis here on relationships. Relationships of all kinds, partnerships. But this, for me, is the relationship we have with ourselves, the masculine and the feminine. Because we've got the yin and the yang in the background here. The yin and the yang. We're currently in a lot of air. No, we're not. We're currently in a lot of water and earth, which is feminine, the yin energy. So we've been learning, especially in 2025, how to delve more into our intuition, trust our intuition, nurture our body, slow down. And then we have the yang. We need the yang. We need them both in balance, which is fire, air. And when we hit February, we're going to start moving. The outer planets are all going to start moving into the elements of air and fire. So that's a heavy masculine. So what this is saying is, yes, it's going to go fast because it's a fast-moving energy, masculine, and it's a very courageous, continual energy. It's active, but it's saying don't forget to take the feminine with you. So when you're moving forward, you know when to rest, you know when to play, you know when to work hard and when to retract. You know you get the balance of work and home life. This is what this is saying. Make time for your relationships. Where are you committing to yourself first and foremost? This is what this energy is telling us. And this says on the card, the area of your life is about long-term, it's very Capricornian, significant partners, romantic, business, or family. We're healing a lot of family ruins, especially with this Capricorn and Cancer energy. Let's see what else comes in. Okay, we're going to the Moonology deck now, see what messages come in with this one. If you're liking this, guys, do hit that subscribe button. Ooh, this one wanted to flip out. We've got step out your comfort zone, the North Node. North Node's currently in Pisces, where Saturn is, ending out a big cycle, where Neptune is, ending out a big cycle before it enters Aries in February. This is where the emphasis is, making peace with something. Go to a higher understanding of what this cycle was all about. Step out your comfort zone, this is saying. What else do we have? Time for healing. And it coincides with that 4 of Swords that I put. Who are you when you have nothing to fight? Who are you when there's nothing left to conflict with? Who are you when you make peace with yourself? What does that feel like? We've been in a lot of survival energy. It's time to say, rest your mind, rest your body. Let things go that need to naturally go. Don't be hanging on. Don't be hanging on to the past, the materialism of things, the external validation, speak your truth. When we hit February, when Neptune moves into Aries, and then not long after, Saturn enters Aries. Aries is going to take on a big Aries energy, which is authenticity. Aries is the physical body. Aries is that truth. It's the war god, but it's channeling a lot of fire energy. And if you are not releasing of these old resentments, anger, frustration, that's what the cycle is going to come back as. We're going to be carrying the past. And remember, the North Node, it wants us to step into our destiny. Your hard work is paying off, but it's time to heal and release. It ain't coming with you, or it doesn't want to come with you. We all have free will. Adjustments. So this new moon, we have some adjustments needed. So that speaks what I've just been saying, allowing to let go. In the tarot, I wonder if it comes out, but it might not. It's the sun in Capricorn, where we are now. Now the moon's in Capricorn also with the sun. The sun is the biggest illuminary. It's the power. And it's trying to illuminate something. Five of Pentacles. I'm trying to show you where it is. It's a man holding on to a pentacle. He's hanging on too tight to something. So it's come into my mind. So I can't let it go because it's come up. Where is it? Bear with me, guys. So Pentacles is the earth elemental in my tarot, in all tarot. But it's asking you, so I'm going to show you that because that's the Four of Cups. That's moon in Cancer. So that's the energy that we're in. Oh, and it's right near the Four of Pentacles, funnily enough. So I'm going to talk about them both. So here we have Sun in Capricorn. And then we have the moon in Cancer. He's hanging on tight. You might be hanging on tight. And this is where the adjustments are required right now. This is where a time for healing, making peace with the past. I've been sat with this energy for some time, and benevolence has been coming up. And I didn't quite understand what benevolence was, what it meant. And it simply means an act of kindness, where you just give from your heart and you don't expect anything back in return. A little bit like unconditional love. So it's where we hang on to things. So for instance, I'll put this in a material realm because Capricorn rules the sign of hard work, the office, CEOs, building foundations, the builder. So say for instance, you're in a job and you were in it just to see what everybody, I mean, obviously we have to work. It can be great if we're going to work and we love our job, but that doesn't happen very often, unless you work for yourself, of course. And then it is where we say things to people, our colleagues or our bosses or the supervisors, that we're not being our authentic self. I remember Aries. Aries likes to be authentic. And we're doing it just to get up the ladder. We're doing it just to be seen, heard, or recognized. This is where we might be letting go of an old fear of what the hell are we doing here? Why am I doing this when I don't even like it? Why am I being somebody that I'm not? Why am I needing to have more qualifications? Why am I taking on a role with more responsibility? Is it greed orientated? Is it an old poverty consciousness wound? Capricorn can hold on to an old lack mentality where he fears not having enough, not being enough. So you might be doing it for the wrong reasons. And this is where you might be sacrificing hard work. And not being the opposite sign of Cancer is about home, children, family, where you haven't got that balance. And even if you haven't got family, this is where you're suppressing that emotional side of yourself over material success, over achievement, over accreditation. And this is saying there might be some self-worth, self-love vibrations in need of healing. Here we have the moon in Cancer, which we have a cup that is wanted to be delivered to you, an emotional cup of love, but you were sat under the tree and you've got your arms folded, you're oblivious to it. That doesn't bring me my dopamine hit, but this does. I get more money. Wow, we've got more money in the bank. We can, I'm getting more praise at work. Well done, so-and-so, well done. You get mentioned in meetings and you get put on the leaderboard. This could come from an old wound as a child where we didn't get the emotional affection. So we always think that worth, self-love, self-worth has to be earned. It's an exchange, a material exchange. Well done for achieving that. So for instance, I'm getting the analogy of a sports day. I know it's changed now, but sports day, every year we have sports day and we want to be the best. We want to win a cup. But what if you didn't? Then you lose some sense of, I'm not good enough. Where did you come top in the top sets? top of the class. It's still in the educational drive at the minute, where schools are always getting the reports of being the best school. And this puts a lot of pressure on our worth and our value. And this is where we can look at areas in our life where really the worth and the value is what you hold within you. We get into a pattern of telling ourselves, of believing that worth and value is an external exchange. It's a strong one. And this is where we might be bringing on this energy here. It's flipped out, so it wants to be seen. Five of Pentacles. As you can see here, there's a mother and a child out in the snow. They haven't got much clothes on the back, so they're going to be cold. The child is obviously not well. And there's a church in the background, and it's got heating on, it's got warmth, it's got a charity there that's going to give you hot soup and a bed for the night. But this woman says, come on, son, we're not worthy. We're not welcome in there. An old belief. Capricorn in mythology, as I say, is ruled by Saturn. And some of the mythology around Saturn was he feared being overthrown by his children, so he ate them. And this might be a little bit of you where you might fear rejection, not fitting in, abandonment, not being good enough throughout your world. Two of Cups has come in. This is Venus in Cancer. Venus is the self-worth, self-value. This is where you might feel you are not worthy of the Ten of Cups, which is the happy ever after card. Again, emotional fulfillment. Cups is emotions. We're still in that heavy Pisces energy, which is water. Cups is water. And it's an exchange here. This is asking us to look at some internal dialogue that we can heal. Remember, Chiron is in the mix most of January, squaring Jupiter in Cancer. Chiron is the wounded healer. Where have we got some wounds to do with this Cancer areas of our life, where we feel we're not good enough? So our vibration, our essence of who we are, we're 70% water. Our mind has been telling us and reprogramming ourselves that we're not good enough. We'll never get the Ten of Cups. Wow. Now remember, this is an emotional wound that we can carry. And this is what we've been working through. So it's at the end. So I'm going to ask a question now, is what have we transformed? So if we think about the last, 12 years, 30 years, wherever you know where this cycle is, because you'll know, because it's coming up for everybody to let go of, you know what areas of life it is, whether it's happening in your health, whether it's happening in your material world, in your career, in your family dynamics. You know that something's been transforming, brewing, wanting healing. So let's just see what the alchemy, so this is my alchemy, what have we alchemized? This is a really deep deck. It's the wild unknown alchemy. And the stages of alchemy is turning lead into gold. So what we've done with these energies, all the tests that Saturn, ruler of Capricorn, has given us over these past years, it's been lead. So if we think about the alchemy journey, turning lead into gold, so what that means is, where have you seen your challenges and thought, right, I'm going to learn from this, I'm going to heal from this, and I'm going to end a cycle. I am not my parents, I am not my grandparents, I'm not my ancestors, I am me. And remember, when we go into Aries season, Aries is the I am. Aries is the self-identity. Where have you had to do a lot of learning about self-identity? We have two cards here, Uranus and the yellowing. And I'll read these both to you. This is the snake. We've just come out of the 2025, which is year of the snake. Yellow is the solar plexus, the sun. Where have you given your power away? This is what's coming up. This is what we've learned. So Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. So Uranus is coming up here. Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is our self-worth and our value. And it's what we earn, our value, what we've placed our material gains up upon. So it's funny that another earth sign's come up here to be seen, which when we're in Capricorn it's a fellow earth sign. So Let's get into this energy. What have you been alchemizing? So we've got the yellowing here. Let me read from the book. So we've got Roman numerals again, my favorite. Not. Let's have a look. The yellowing. Oh, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. So I'll show you the card. So the yellowing. So this means aging, transitioning, and warning. Okay. Now, before I go into the description of this, I'm going to put aging. So one of the things with Capricorn, they're a very responsible sign. So this might be, and it's said that they age backwards. So as they get older, they become more mature and they get more free. They become more joy. They get in tune with the self. They actually get more in tune with the Cancer, the opposite sign, with their emotions, but it takes a long time. Capricorn is that energy of the hard worker. It can get lost in work. So we can look at our life, and I'm guilty of this, where we've been heavy in our masculine over the years, and how this is shown up in relationships. Remember the relationship cards that I pulled earlier? How it's come over in our relationships. Now, this is not to punish ourselves. This is where the maturity has come in. This is where the growth has come in. Okay, I'm going to get back to the card now. So this is saying it's indicating a transition. The yellowing leads us into the next phase of our alchemical work. Envision the yellowing as pages of a beloved novel, or the ochre blanket of leaves in fall. This colour seeps out to signify the beginning of the end, exactly where we're at now. We're at the end of the end. A return to the zero. Oh my goodness, so the 0 point in Aries in February. So we're shedding, guys. Even a deep bruise finds a yellow tint as it reaches its final phases of healing. In contrast, yellow can be the marker of a long-awaited growth, as seen in the first rays of the sun and the cheer of forsythia in February. That must obviously be a flower or a plant. For those of you that like gardening, Capricorns like gardening. Whatever its message, yellowing tells the truth. It leads us forward like the vibrant canary in the mine, warning of what's to come. Take heed. The transition is here, whether by yoke or bile. How to respond is up to you. It's likely you already know. So you know that the end is here. How you respond, but remember you've been maturing in your relationship, so you've come to a higher understanding. You've healed your masculine ego, or most of it. And how you respond is key with this. You've gained your power, you've took your power back. You've healed your masculine, your feminine. What you want to move forward with, remember, building some lasting relationships, they're going to be about your emotional needs and your stability being met. You ain't settling for anything less. Uranus. Let's see what Uranus says. What's the number on here? Just have some, I don't know, twiddle your thumbs or do whatever you want to do, guys, while I wait for this energy that I'm trying to find. Uranus. Wish I had some elevator music. That would be good, wouldn't it? Okay, here we go. Uranus. This is awakening, brilliance, individualism. Wow. Being proud of who you are. You don't need them external validations. You don't need those pats on the back. You don't need that extra money in the pot, although it's good. I'm not saying we don't need money. Of course we do. But this is about being you. What makes you happy? What makes you brilliant? Where have you been told otherwise? Where you had to please others? External validation to get your brilliance met. Okay, back to the book. When Uranus strikes, remember it's in the sign of Taurus, which is about our value, we're in for a surprise, not in the outer world, but in ourselves. What wasn't possible before is possible now, thanks to Uranus and its ability to shatter our preconceptions. This shift is perspective or identity, which brings a newfound freedom and open up dormant energy, Kundalini. For an alchemist, this may be experienced as a long-awaited aha moment or a sudden stroke of genius. Inventions and innovations are born under Uranus energy. This card may also appear to show you what a particularly unique about yourself is, or another. Remember, in relationships, a seemingly random or idiosyncratic quality may end up being the secret ingredient you've needed in the laboratory of the alchemist. The alchemist knows the radical energy isn't sustainable, as so the work is to show up each day whether or not Uranus strikes. So this is about the ego tripping. This isn't about letting go of the ego, what the ego wants, instead of going, that can be Capricorn, what the ego gets praised for, touchy-feely. This is saying go more into the opposite sign, which is Cancer, what your heart needs, where you feel safe. And this is within us, calming our nervous system. Okay, guys, I'm 30 minutes in now, and I'd like to send you all the love and happy new moon in Cancer.